Alright, hey everybody, we are actually in the eye wall of a slightly stronger Ada. It is unbelievable whipping here.
This old job is always causing stress.
I'm tucking the truck here.
All I ever do is work. I don't get no rest.
Man, I got some video
First
footage.
night is on the way.
Crazy. Let me see if I can get outside.
I'm in trouble. What?
You just wouldn't believe how much rock in the truck is. Oh shit!
Oh, man, drunk donkey, IPA. Let that magic mango chase my blues away.
We're in the eye of Ada here in Key Largo.
Among my friends.
Tremendous
I
weather
swear the page goes live again.
coming in. Currently, I'm semi-protected here by my truck, so no worries. But semi-protected. I don't want to get the camera wet, but man, the trees beside me are completely sideways. I'm not sure what the gusts are, but definitely this is the tropical storm. I think we're seeing a little higher gusts. I got the back turned right now, and
What's up, everybody?
trying to keep the camera from getting wet. We're in Key Largo. We're in the eye of Ada.
Mike's Weather page goes live again. You never know. It's like a box of chocolate. You never know when I'm going live again. I should advertise it, but I don't. We did set out notifications to our Cat 5, so everybody else is a bonus. Just want to do a quick update. Good thing about these little videos is they're saved too, so people always watch them afterwards. So, and we did a little quickie YouTube a minute ago too. Nah, and after that, I'm going out. I got my DD with me. That would be Julie. It's always nice to have a DD. All right. Cool beans. How about that? Let's take a look at the world. What's going on? Tropical Storm Fiona. The only game in town. Where are all my cone heads? Brian Vincent says. What's up? Leanne from Bowling Green. I just was talking to someone the other day about Bowling Green with the tornadoes not too long ago. Man, that was... Oh, that's Bowling Green, Florida. What the heck am I thinking about? Oh, my goodness. Good news, Wanda. Well, it depends on where you live. Somebody else's good news could be somebody else's bad news. People forget we have fans in the islands. Island boys. We have fans. We have 63,000 fans in Bermuda. So just because it might not be affecting you doesn't mean that I can't stop talking about it. I share everything. Beaufort, South Carolina. Tracy, what's up? Dan Betterman, what's up? Thanks for the stars. Appreciate the stars. Stephanie Sunday from Texas. Texas feeling some cool crisp air. Burlington, North Carolina. Darcel Wright. I used to race RC cars in Burlington, North Carolina. Back in the day, it was a dirt oval track. Susan from Delray, what's up? We got Nora from Interlachen, Florida. Steve from St. Croix. How about that, Steve? You're getting ready for some big rains. Probably some squally weather. Sean from Cape Cod. How's it going, buddy? Marcy from St. Simon's Island. Man. I don't... Hey, Veronica. I stay out of that. St. Simon's, Fort Myers, Lisa, Dominica, Alytha from Dominica. Wow, British Virgin Islands, cool. St. Croix, George, what's up? We don't ban people when they don't disagree with us. We ban... First off, I love everybody. But it gets to a point where if you're only creating drama in the chat, we don't need it. We don't want to get people riled up. Facebook even says we want a happy community. And we get people that get everybody riled up. They can still watch. That's just the way it's always been. No drama, especially no politics. I actually had people tell me I should man up because of the Dixie Chicks song. You know, I don't get into politics. People that know me know my politics. I didn't post the song to start a political thread. And then they got mad at me because Shelly had to stop it because our thread became the political thread on Facebook. I don't want Mike's Weather page to turn into the political thread on a Thursday night or whenever I did it. And it was awful, man. We had people calling people names, and I'm like, I don't need it. So, go somewhere else for that. All right, here's the deal with the tropics. This is going to be a quickie because we got dinner waiting, and little Sarah is hungry. So this is a Daily Brew. We do it in the mornings at 9:19 Eastern, usually every day. We're not going to do tomorrow. We'll do something. I don't know when or where. The weekends are all over the place. If there was something intimate, yeah, but sometime tomorrow, just watch for it. But yeah, welcome. Appreciate it. We're streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and appreciate it. Appreciate you joining along. Here's what we got. Latest 5 o'clock advisory came out at 5. Imagine that. The 5 o'clock advisory comes out at 5. 5 o'clock somewhere. And that's it. We got tropical storm warnings already happening. We got our system. Take a look at it. If you want to look at it, this is what it looks like right now. Still sheared heavily. The convection's starting to catch up, though, to the lower levels. So it never really officially got displaced to where it fell apart. So it actually, you're starting to see the upper level convection starting to catch up to the lower level, indicating the shears relaxing a little bit. You can still see the islands here, Puerto Rico and stuff. There's still upper level winds blowing, indicating some west shear. But anyway, another good radar that I got linked on our site now. This is great island radar. I was looking at something else. So we got that classic swirl. You can see it clear as day on the radar here. Awesome sight. There's Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. There's the Leeward Islands here, the Lesser Antilles. So there you go. That's live radar. Even though that convection's still behind the low level, we still get surface level rains, and that's classic, man. That's Fiona. It is a classic tropical storm. You could say she's almost beautiful, not like the real one, green. I also added Puerto Rico radar, which includes St. Thomas and St. Croix here, the Virgin Islands. So that's on my site too. So if you want to check that out, there's a link here for both radars at the very, very top. And I also embedded the Puerto Rico Natural Weather Service radar. You can take a look at that. So this will be interesting through the night tonight into tomorrow. We'll start to see these rain bands really catching up. So if you want to stay tuned for that. And speaking of rain real quick, since we're talking about rain, this is the Euro. The Euro and GFS tracks, a little different. Here's your cheat sheet for, doesn't even go to purple. But we could have significant rainfall through the weekend. Purple is possibly a foot plus. Purple. So purple is bad. White is inching up there to 6, 7, 8, 9 inches of rain. So definitely going to be a flooding concern here. You can see the track as it goes off. There you go. That's the track of Fiona in a nutshell with the rain map. But Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, watching for some heavy rains. That's the Euro. The GFS here shifts a little bit more to the east, meaning more rain for Puerto Rico. That could be bad, and some of these are hitting the Virgin Islands. So, man, we talked about that last second. Strengthening a little bit, and definitely a rain event. Flooding is going to be a big problem down there. We're talking, double digits. So that's obviously the immediate threat from Fiona right now. And any last second, organization. So the National Hurricane Center is expecting this to be 80 miles an hour on day 5 right here. So it's definitely expected to intensify once it gets out into the Atlantic open waters here. We got Turks and Caicos, Bahamas are all watching this. The turn north has been pretty consistent. These just came out. These are your 18Z spaghetti models. And look, we have always loved spaghetti models on our site. They can tell you so much. And we have a lot of confidence tonight. I did share yesterday the Euro, GFS, and Canadian were all bouncing around, hitting continental U.S., out to sea. But the overnight models, the afternoon models, and I would almost guarantee that tonight's models are going to almost blend with this eventual turn up and curve. So that's where we're at. If you're worried in Florida, if you're worried on the East Coast, you watch, but worried, no. Gotta trust the models when they all start to agree. I mean, so that's where we're at. Of course, we got friends in Bermuda. This is getting awfully close up there. We'll start digesting that. Long way to go. It'll be later next week. But there you go. So that's kind of the new thing. Let's take a look at the tropical tidbits here. We can look at the latest actual model runs. And you'll see all of them are very consistent with this thing getting pulled northward. This is the GFS. And look, strengthening system in the Hispaniola, 993. It's going to maybe pass that. What do they call that? The Monage Passage? How do you pronounce that? Monage Passage? It's that gap between Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. But there's GFS and... 938, man. That's serious drop in pressure. That is a strengthening hurricane. That's major hurricane status here. This would be next Wednesday. Definitely making that scary trek toward Bermuda. But there's a curve. The Euro doing the same thing. Strengthening Turks and Caicos. I visited that with our Mike's Weather Page cruise. So I rode a golf cart, hung out with some donkeys, drank with some. So I know that place well. We were there. But 987, that could be borderline hurricane. So, we got a lot of people down there watching in the islands. This would be next week. So possible strengthening system. There's the Euro. And look, curve. So, and it's going toward Bermuda too. But possible major hurricane, GFS and Euro. And then the Canadian finally caved in. It was the outlier for so long. And look. A curve. So man, that's high confidence. Even the ensembles now are starting to indicate a more agreement, especially all the GFSs. There's not one GFS now pointing to the continental U.S. If I say U.S., I automatically get attacked by people that live in Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands. No disrespect to y'all down there, because I know you're part of the United States. But when I say U.S., hey, what about us? So that's why I say continental U.S. I'm trying to avoid making anybody upset. I'm a politician, fence walker. Here's the latest Euro. Just 3 or 4 touching U.S. So I guess for all the folks living, in the 48, kind of good news, right? So that's where we're at. Hey, we got some stars there. Lisa, appreciate that. Gonna buy a beer tonight without Lisa. Thank you. Oh, man, I got to show you my red. I'm not going to show you now, but I went a little. We're going to Talladega next following week. I started buying my annual stuff, and I ran across Redneck Edition Silverado badges for my truck. So I'm going to have to put them on the side of the truck. I'm going to have the Silverado 1500 Redneck Edition. Mary, good morning or afternoon. What's up, Eric? Are the Rays on tonight, Julie?
Yes.
Oh, right. Go Rays. Who we play tonight? I don't know. Never heard that team. I don't know. Krista, thank you for the 310. What's that represent? No spaghetti, Luann. We're probably going to our little tap house tonight. So that would mean pepperoni, jalapeno, and bacon pizza. I sound depressed, Adam. Now, seriously, come on now. I try to be neutral, storm or not. I used to be the guy that wanted a storm. I just report it. I'm not depressed. That's funny though. Mike, there you go. That sounds like a great Mona passage. There you go. Guess I got to touch up on my English. Duh. What's up, Stephanie? No beer in hand. We got tequila. Oh, yeah, someone down there. We got a lot of people watching down the islands. How many people are down there right now? Virgin Islands and all those wonderful little countries down there. Who are the Rays, Jim? Don't start nothing now, man. Mandy, let me tell you a little something about Irma. Irma, Florence, Sandy, Michael. I talk a lot when there's uncertainty. Irma, people think that I called it. I didn't really call it. We talked a lot about strong storms stopping on a dime, looking at ensembles. Here we go, September 6th. Many ensembles were on the west coast of Florida. So we talk about these scenarios, when there's a wide spread in thinking. I mean, look at September 6th with Irma. We had model spread pretty serious, right? But look at the 8th and 9th. We had a pretty tight model spread here. And that's when confidence gets high. So, I see the front coming. We've seen these lingering fronts coming all year long. I believe it, Yesterday, I was thinking I could see that scenario with a weak system, but this system has battled through that shear, and it's battling through the dry air, and it is still maintaining low pressure, and it's still got a very good seed, and that keeps it going. We had a split with Sandy. Some of the models went east, some went west. So we're at the point now where confidence is becoming a little more. Here's Florence. At one time, we had half of them going this way, half of them going that way, and that's when we talk more about the possibilities. But when we start to see model unity more, then you start to believe it. So, like I said last thing I posted last night was, let's wake up. Let's see the 00Z models. And we did. And they were very consistent. And the 12Z models were consistent. And this is a very tightly cored system. And all along, if this thing was strong, the likelihood of this thing getting pulled up. So always watch it. Don't turn the page. Don't forget about it. I mean, don't do a Bob Seger and turn the page. We watched. And if we wake up in the morning and the models shift back, then I'll be like, oh, here we go. But I'm starting to see these models really latch on to what's coming. And what's coming is this. Let me show you. There is a very strong signal here of a front coming in next week. And it's always been showing. Even last week it was showing. That's why the euro was a little confusing yesterday when it went west. But if you remember, somebody out there remembers, even though the euro operational run went west, 2/3 of the ensembles went east. And when that happens, you start to think the operational is wrong. And how many times this year did we see the GFS spit a hurricane in the Gulf and not one ensemble showed it? So you have to have ensemble support for the operational run to make sense. And when you have the majority of ensembles starting to see the same signal, and there's a lot more to that. But anyway, so here's next week. Look, this is dry air. This is a frontal line that's lingering. There's going to be another frontal line coming down, which means high pressure. And our systems cannot penetrate that stuff, and they curve. And that's the euro. That's a great look at what's showing on a lot of models. Look at that. Frontal line, curve. So that's a wonderful image if you're living in the continental USA. Mona Passage. Yes. All right. So anyway, Still possible windshield wiper, maybe. You know. Tomorrow will be, you know, the telltale sign in the morning when we wake up. We'll see the overnight runs. So far, that's the trend. Long range too. Like we could take a look here at some of the longer 15-day. Euro here, at least they go out 15 days. Oh, let's see here. That's not what I wanted to see. Oh man, I'm all messed up now. Here we go. Let's go back over here. The 00Z and go out 15 days. Or 10 days. So there's your 10-day model. That wave that was supposed to come out of the Atlantic or Africa last week never really materialized. Remember we were showing the models were all over that. There was a wave that was coming off. It's out there, but it's not getting any love. But there's your majority of models. And yeah, we'll definitely watch Nova Scotia and stuff. But we got we got to get out of the Caribbean first. But that's it. As my dad would say, that's it, Fort Pitt. Check out Florida tonight. And there is a strong storm going up to Alaska. I haven't really showed it because everybody's focused on Fiona, but there is a massive storm. They said the worst winds possibly in a decade for Alaska. But look at Florida, man. Extra juicy. I did share earlier the infrared, and you can see it all out there in the Gulf, and it's kind of meandered its way across the peninsula. One more day of that. Then Sunday it doesn't look too bad. This is all part of that lingering front, the Linguini front that we've been talking about. Mary, yeah, we can look at that. We can look at the GFS ensembles. I just showed them on Weather Nerds. This is GFS. So you remember the 6Z GFS had everywhere. Now, we're getting a little more consistency even on the GFS. So starting to see good model consistency on these runs. So that's kind of what the update was from yesterday to today. We still have to worry about all of our friends down in the Caribbean, talking about heavy rains, considerable flood impacts, flash and urban flooding, mudslides. It's going to strengthen once it reaches the open waters. Probably, likely could be a major hurricane once it clears and gets out here in the open waters. The conditions are going to be favorable. And there are two other spots on the map here. And of course, I got links here to Hurricane Hunters. You can check them out. They're flying out there. So I keep clicking the same link. This guy. They got a new mission out there now. This is their coordinate points. If you're curious, they do their flight patterns and connect the dots. This is their pressure readings that they get. So it progressively tags the pressures, and you can see there's they're holding steady, 1,005. The shear out ahead is still there. This is our system, so it's still battling some wind shear. Not the most favorable environment still. So it's not expected to do anything too much. Here's a couple more cool links here. This Google radar site. This is actually linked to WTSP radar. I love it. You go over here to layers and you can click on active tropical track and hit some spaghetti models, and then we can make it bigger, and then we can zoom in and we can close that, and we can go over here, and this is a really good map here showing you what we're doing. So there you go. Even the NHC is a little bit west of some of the models. It's expected to be 80 miles an hour on September 21st. Remember, that's 5 days out. So expected to be a hurricane. Some of the modeling is showing we can see a little more strengthening here. And it could go right over Turks and Caicos. So they're going to have to prepare for that. That's going to be about 4 days. Some of the models showed it actually strengthening, kind of missing the big mountains of Hispaniola. So That's what we got. There we go. Fiona, Fiona, Fiona. All right, what's everybody doing tonight on a Friday night? Cool beans. All right. Well, anyway, wet, 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 Karen says. Anyway, I don't know. All right, cool. Well, we're going to go out to eat just a little bit. Hope you have a great evening. And there you go. Cool, quick update. So we'll watch the radar. Remember, I got all the radars on the site now that you can follow and track along. And the next NHC update is going to be at 11 p.m. Eastern tonight. That's when they have the new track updates. Then if you want to watch models, the around 9 p.m. the 00 suite of Tropical Tidbits spaghetti models comes out. That's your overnight model runs, and that gets all the data inputted from the Hurricane Hunters. And then around midnight, the 00Z models come out. The GFS Canadian Euro comes out around 2 a.m. I ain't waiting up for that one. I'll hit it in the morning when I wake up. So have a great night. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate it. We'll see you later tomorrow sometime. Bye-bye.